It is 1:39 a.m. on Saturday, July 18th, Central Standard Time. And I got through my surgery okay. Here's the next stylish boot I'm in, or whatever you want to call it. I gotta carry this around for 10 days. I had a nerve block, and so I still don't feel my feet much. My foot, this one, the one in the cast or whatever it is. But I'm okay. And I wanted to read something, if I can find it. I want to read something that is about delays that really spoke to me because of what's happened with my breaking my ankle and stuff. And I've been working really hard on a project. It's a personal one, and I completed it the day before this happened. And to my eyes and my heart, it felt like, oh crap, now I can't do it as fast as I want to. What am I going to do? And inside I'm freaking out because I don't want another delay. I'm just right there on the edge of being able to maybe to see my dream manifest into reality. And here I am with this, what looks like a delay. And so I've just been going through so much the last few days. And I was freaking out because the last surgery I had in 2020 was a 2-hour in and out. Call me crazy, Gilligan's Island always comes on in my mind. The 2-hour tour or the 3-hour tour that turned into being stranded on an island. Well, I had a Gilligan's Island level surgery on my brain. It was a 2-hour tour that turned into a 1-week stay in the hospital. The surgery turned into 14 hours, and then most of the time in the hospital was in ICU, except for the last day or two. And so nothing that I planned went right. And yet I can look back on what seemed like a massive delay and mess and stuff, and I know God's hand was on everything, because there were things that came, this happened. It couldn't have been coincidence. Let me give you an example. I got hired by Boeing in the middle of a pandemic, working remote. Didn't even plan that I didn't even know at the time I was going to have surgery. And planned with them, with my PTO that I had scraped together, to do maybe a day or two off, but you know, it's just a simple in and out procedure. I should be fine. But one thing I did that I never did before ever was when I took out my benefits, there was the opportunity to take out some short-term disability and long-term disability insurance, and I on a lark went, oh, what the heck, might as well, probably gonna waste the money, but who cares. My benefits at Boeing went into effect the day I started work. This was like 4 or 5 months later that I had surgery. And everything, the money was there to keep me afloat, to keep us afloat financially while I was recovering. And then I was able to take off from January to April and be okay. And I got back to work in April, and that job kind of was starting to fizzle out. Boom, I found another job. And I've worked remote for years, way before COVID, so that's nothing to me. That's my normal working location. But the job I got there took care of things. It was just like divinely appointed, you could see, is my point. So I'm freaking out in my mind because I'm going to have surgery again. And oh God, what am I going to do? And I was scared. Who wouldn't be scared to wake up and be told, oh yeah, we had to repair that leak that was going on because I had a cerebral spinal fluid leak back behind my sinuses. They went up through my nose to do it. And then to find out, oh, and since we were already doing everything laparoscopically, and we found that your brain was sagging under your skull, we just moved it back. It just took a little longer than anticipated. And who wouldn't have trauma from that or be freaked out if somebody said you have to have surgery again? I swore I would never, ever, 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 ever have surgery again unless forced to. Well, this forced me, so I'm in the bathroom having a meltdown the night before surgery, scared to death, and asking God, just please help me, because I can't go through that again. I just can't. In reference to what I went through in December 2020. And I don't even know when I went to sleep. I just know I got up and I went through the motions today. Or yesterday now, technically. It was on Friday that I had surgery. And everyone that I encountered at the hospital, every staff member from the receptionist all the way through to the nurses and doctors, every one of them were very professional, very kind, very compassionate, very, very, very understanding about things that I needed as a result of my sinuses being jacked up because of surgery in 2020. So there were certain things I needed for that. And I needed my glasses and my hearing aids the minute I come into recovery, not whenever they got around to it. Because one of the most terrifying things that happened to me when I had brain surgery was I laid in that bed in the recovery room and screamed bloody murder. I kept saying, I need my hearing aid, I need my glasses. Nobody listened. The recovery nurse was too busy playing on the computer. And I finally, and I don't know why this number came to my head, I don't know. My daughter was in New Jersey. She was states away. She wasn't even near me. My husband was in the waiting room with my glasses and hearing aids. So, but I was screaming, call my daughter, Alicia's Health Net, blah, 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 screaming her number over and over and over. And I guess this nurse finally got fed up with it. She went and found a wall phone to plug into the wall next to the gurney that I happened to be laid on, and called my daughter on that phone because she couldn't call out on the one that she had in there. And my daughter was able to explain to her, she's blind and deaf right now, could you get her stuff? Because I really am. I can't see or hear at all without my eyes and ears on. So my biggest fear was being left in recovery with no way to communicate again. And I was blessed with nurses and doctors that listened and made sure that I had that. The minute I came to, the nurses saying, "Do you want your hearing aids? Here's your glasses." And it was just very peaceful. I didn't have any kind of shaking like you do after surgery and stuff. Wasn't sick to my stomach. It was just very peaceful. And I came home. Of course, I've got medication in me, so now you're trying to come off the high of anesthesia and stuff. But I was so happy because everything went good and I got to go home. And my surgery was at 9. I was home by 3:30. How freaking cool is that, right? And then I was thinking about this delay that I think happened. And it's not really a delay because of what I read. I found that, and I found other things, and sometimes I think, and because I'm not religious. I'm a Christian. I love Jesus. I don't think Jesus was religious either, and he would probably shut down all the churches in the world at this point. Maybe a handful wouldn't be, but most of them would be because they don't have anything to do with what he taught. That's for another subject. But I know Jesus. I've met him. That's another story. But I just think sometimes God allows us. These kinds of things happen for a reason. There's always a purpose to it. So my mind is always going, what's the purpose in this? And when there's a delay, I definitely want to know what the reason is. Inquiring minds want to know, right? Mine does. So I've been asking God, why? What's this delay about? Because I know the visions you've given me. I know the timeline you showed me. Did the timeline change? Blah, blah, blah. My little cracking, crazy head. All these inquiring minds want to know questions. And then I found that little sign. And then I remembered the things that I went through with my brain surgery and how divine appointment all the way through. And I'm freaking out. I needed time to mentally rest and prepare for what's coming because it's good. And see, I am so good at preparing for the crisis that never comes. I had a sponsor in AA one time tell me, "Andrea, you are a crisis preparation junkie." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "You love to just sit around and worry about shit and prepare for the disaster." She called me a disaster preparation junkie. And she would say, "You love to sit around and worry. You're addicted to it. And you like to worry and plan for the crisis or disaster that's never going to happen. And you waste most of your life on that stupid shit." And that was right. And so instead of taking care of me, I was over here in disaster preparation at that time. I'm not so bad about that now, but I'm very goal-oriented, I've got to get these things done. And I think sometimes God just says, "Andrea, slow down." And he's probably been sending me mile markers on flashing neon signs somewhere going, "Slow down, Andrea." But I've been going Mach 10 with my hair on fire because I want to get this done. Got to get this done. And so, you know what? This is his way of me stepping back for a minute, taking a deep breath, resetting, regrounding, and trusting that the next right step is going to come when it's time. And he's going to meet all my needs, no matter whether that is tomorrow or 3 months from now. He's going to meet all my needs. I know that because, see, if you were in this position, I would gladly tell you that and believe it with every core of my being. But when it comes to me, I'm like, really? I'm not sure about that. I'm getting better at that. It takes me a minute to get to that point about me personally. And the other thing, God, there's my favorite book in the Bible, and like, I'm not churchy, but I love the Bible. My favorite story in it is when doubting Thomas met Jesus after he had risen from the dead. But doubting Thomas looked at him and went, well, I'm not sure that's you. And I'm paraphrasing. I don't have this shit memorized, but I know it. I'm paraphrasing. Well, I'm not sure that's you. Let me stick my finger in your side. That's me. I'm like that almost every day. And you know what? Jesus lifted up his cloak and said, go right, good, stick right here, see, right here, put your finger in. He does that with me every day, and he still loves me, because I'm always going, are you sure? Are you really going to take care of me? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? You're not going to drop me, are you? And I'm always saying to my kids, God hadn't brought you this far to drop you on your ass now. And yet, I can't remember that. So, I'm very grateful today that God loves me with all my warts and bumps and screw-ups and less than a tiny mustard seed of faith. Sometimes it's a molecule of faith inside a mustard seed somewhere. It's so tiny. But he still loves me. He loved me before I was even in my mother's womb. I really believe that. He knew me even before he let me come here. So, I am purposing and hoping and praying tonight that I'm over the hump, the big part that scared me so bad, that I will have a speedy recovery, that everything will happen the way God wants it to happen, that I will be okay with that I can find rest and get reset and ready for the amazing stuff that's fixing to come. Because I know how amazing it's going to be, how awesome it's going to be. And I do need to be prepared for it, because I've seen visions of it, and it's going to be just crazy beautiful. So tonight, this morning, whatever time it is, I'm just going to rest and thank God that I have the time to rest, that he's taking care of me and my family and my friends and everybody, really, if we let him. And I wanted to say thank you with everything that is in me for everyone that has sent me messages and prayers and emails and texts, because I believe in the power of prayer. I'm proof. I'm living proof here. I shouldn't be alive many times over, and I'm still here because people prayed for me. I'm a grandmother now. I'm a great-grandmother now. And my grandma told me a long, long time ago when I was young and I was still drinking and drugging, Andy, I pray every night for you that you're going to live that you're not going to die and you're going to get sober someday. And I would look at her and think, she's nuts. And she would say, every prayer that I pray for my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and all my future generations, it goes on forever. Because the prayers of a mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, and so on, are the strongest prayers in the universe. And I truly believe that because I'm still here. Her prayers kept me alive. They still do. My mother's prayers, my other grandmother's prayers, you know. So I believe in the power of prayer. Thank you, guys. I was sitting here reviewing what I had recorded for my video, and I realized that I would be way wrong if I did not call out a very special thank you to my little Looney Tunes tribe, my family, my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids, and, you know, my family, everybody in my family and extended family, and those of you who are family that I choose to call family. Anyways, if you don't understand that, you don't know me. Anyways, each one of the people in my family, even no matter what age they are, have somehow reached my heart and supported me through this totally scary, unplanned event in my life. And I am so completely grateful. Be it a text, a call, a video, FaceTime with Destiny and the girls, Cedric. You know, Bella has just been amazing. She's a godsend to me right now. Not because she's done pretty much taken care of me and done all the laundry and everything all by herself, but just because of her spirit of compassion and love. Last but certainly not least, my daughter Alicia, because I got to see pretty much firsthand through this what my daughter is going to be as a nurse. And I gotta tell you something, I am awful damn proud. She has one more semester left, and she will graduate with her degree in nursing, and believe me, she has worked her butt off for it. And watching how she carries herself with people who will be her peers, already are in some settings, but will be officially her working peers, her professional counterparts, the way she carries herself with them is so amazing to me. And the way that when she's on dealing with something medical, she is on, and she knows how to ask the right questions. And she did that for me today. She's done that for me all week since I hurt myself. But especially today. She did things in the background that I didn't know about till later that made everything run smoothly and be completely peaceful for me. And I'm so grateful for that. I couldn't get through this without my family today. So, I love you guys a whole lot. Thank you to everyone. Love you.